Hello and welcome to another My Little Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Bree. I'm here with my mother Shelly.
Hi.
My father Gary.
Hello.
My husband Jared.
Hi.
And my brother Bryson.
Hello.
Today we're going to be chit-chatting to you about the most recent weekly peek, but before we get into that, a quick word from our Winky Face sponsor.
Winky face.
Winky Face. The My Little Homestead t-shirt shop. If you'd like to get a fun t-shirt, sweatshirt, handbag, apron, or a plethora of various shirts and designs and products, we have the link down in the description. I'm sure if I'm assuming you know that probably by now if you're watching a lot, because we do mention it quite a bit. But I have on my branch manager shirt right now, because in honor for the POV shots that we got of Bullet capturing his and throwing his stick and stuff like that. The little cool POV shots. But anyway, if you'd like to check that out, the link will be down there in the description.
We had 3 videos come out this last week since we've been with you last, and one was last week's podcast, and then we had the Wednesday last episode of the Wednesday
it was
video,
an exciting week
on the tips, and then of course Friday's video on the progress of our skid steer and the things going on there. So from last week's podcast, though, I do have one here. Vic Wilder says here, put the skid steer on a trailer to give it more height, then move the trailer as needed. You may have to manually guide the bags since the skid steer won't be rolling along. So, yeah, we could certainly do a trailer. That was an idea.
Okay. I was kind of thinking of putting it on stilts.
Stilts? And walk in there?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
You could walk it. You just tie it. You just bolt like big bars to the wheels.
Yeah.
And then they would, because you can move it forward, and then you can move the other side forward, and then...
Oh my gosh.
Flatbed trailer, would it hold the weight of the skid steer, or is that too weak of one?
Yeah.
We'd have to get another trailer.
Well, yeah, and it would only put us up another couple,
2
like
feet.
a foot. And we need like 6.
But that's like 3 rows, so at least.
But we'd have
a
to
little
move the trailer around with the skid steer on it.
Yeah.
And have to take the skid steer off constantly to go get more dirt.
Oh, yeah.
But we need.
But that's a good idea. It's 2 more feet.
Yes.
So another comment Will came up with here. It says here, build a dirt mound to drive the skid steer onto to get the elevation. So that would be another 4 to 6 feet we'd need to have of a mound of dirt. Yeah, to get up to the 16-foot level.
Might be a little intense, but we could possibly do it.
I love the idea.
We got to bring dirt over there anyway.
We're trying to figure out how to extend the bucket.
Yeah.
And I love how people are like, no, you just lift up the skid steer. I like that thinking, because it didn't even come into my brain to
how about
do that.
How about one of those pneumatic lifts that you get on those cars, you know, and we could put that on the skid steer.
You know, my
That'd be cool.
interesting about that is my initial thought was to make a belt system on the side of the skid steer. So you have the spiral, which takes it out of the bucket, and then it belts up the rest of the way up the side.
Now, I have seen, I don't know, it's been a while, but didn't they have like monster trucks, and you just put massive wheels on it, and it lifts you up a few feet? You could have a monster truck skid steer,
okay,
and there's your height.
We have about 2
that is
wheels.
not
6 foot wheels.
that is not a bad idea. We have a gap in between the 2 wheels. We could actually fit bigger wheels on there and actually lift it off the ground a little further.
Are you joking?
No.
Oh,
That was his serious face.
We could get new tires for it. It wouldn't lift it high, but we could get a few more inches that way.
Inches.
It might make it more unstable though, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, just remember though, it's half of the distance you think. So if you have a 2-foot wheel and you put a 4-foot wheel, it's only a 2-foot rise.
Yeah.
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 okay.
It's a thought. We're mulling. We appreciate the input.
Yes. Yeah. Mom's great video. Final installment of the 17 different tips that she's offered for the for making videos and creative things and things that she's done. So I have Sheila Berry here says here, this entire series has been great and very helpful. This final episode was excellent. The importance of each person and his or her contributions, talents, gifts to help others in their lives as well as oneself. Good. God bless. So people really liked what you did. So yeah.
It's the 17th video tip series that came out on Wednesday.
Super exciting.
Yeah,
Super
very cool.
exciting.
Very
So
exciting.
we'll shove all those together into one video and put them out. So if somebody wants to see the whole thing, they can, or if they want to look to a particular subject, they can jump to that too. So we'll have both types out there.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. Okay, and then we moved to our third video, of course, of the week, which was Friday's video. Very interesting video. I thought it was produced very well.
Yes.
So I love this production.
Bryson did it this week.
Yes, it was really good.
Yes.
To the Patreon.
Okay, so Mike Stevens over on our Patreon said, have you ever thought of building a homemade grizzly sifter? It may help with rocks, roots, and other stuff to give you cleaner dirt for your bags. And also, it looks like Scott and Charlotte Rohde also recommended some sort of a mesh windscreen to sift things through, which are great ideas by Mike.
Yeah, we had lots and lots and lots of comments on the more recent video of hey, you guys should, filter that dirt before it goes through. And it was such a great idea. We actually were doing it before you even commented. That's just how good of an idea
we
it
all
was.
went on the
same
Everyone was on the same wavelength.
all thinking the same
Dad
thing.
was out there
building the Tower of Babel.
Oh, yeah.
the thing's massive.
On
He was
Thursday,
before I even had the video done
yeah.
editing. I was editing it while he was building
I
it.
had
like,
the
I'm gonna
skid steer
go-
out there
It's
building
like-
it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go out in the back and I'm gonna build it. So I'm thinking, some little thing on the ground.
Yeah, like what you see on the side of the road.
I
it's
look
just
out
like
the
that.
window because it's out of the kitchen window, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that monstrosity?
It's about a 5 foot off the ground kind of a thing.
5. It's like 10.
Well, that's the little
It's like
part.
10 to
the little part is
15
5
feet
foot,
in the air.
and the other one is about it's about 10 or 12 feet.
Mom's like, have you seen what your father is building? and I looked out the window. I'm like, how did I miss that? That changed the skyline.
You know what? What?
We should name the next weekly peak Sifty Business.
Sifty business. There we go.
Oh, it was a joke because I have one here.
Oh, sorry.
I have one here by Kim Mileage, also over on our Patreon, says Bullet Vision was a nice addition. Wondering how many sticks he's added to your bag so far. Good job helping out, Bullet. We have to watch him now. And he kept putting his stick up there. All of the stuff that we're doing now, there's no wheelbarrows or things for him to be able to put his stick in.
Oh, right.
And actually, he was getting a little bit frustrated because there was nothing bullet height to put his stick around. Everybody was in or on top of the bags or in the bucket or whatever.
I will say the camera has made me realize that you don't understand the thrill of chasing the stick. Like, why would you run after a stick? Come on now. But after seeing Bullet's height and the position he's in, it's like a car. It's like driving a car really, really fast. That is the kind of enjoyment that dog feels when he goes after a stick.
You were wanting to join in.
I wanted to join. I saw the height and I'm like, I need like a short little scooter to go that fast. Like that was really kind of cool. I was getting into it. I was like, I see why Bullet likes this now. It's really cool.
That's great. Okay, Shano Terry 476 left a comment on Rumble. Love the Bullet cam. Was Bullet originally Shelly's brother's dog, or did he have a dog that looked like him when he was in the video fixing his big rig? So the way the story goes is that dog was Bailey. She's all black, and she is still with my brother, and he absolutely adores that dog. Believe it or not, Bullet lived in town in a little tiny apartment with an older lady. He's a lot to handle for a person who's had heart problems and other things that she had hard getting around. So that's how Bryson acquired Bullet.
Yeah.
She just
And
She was looking for a home.
She
for him.
loved that dog. She wanted to make sure he went to a nice home. I remember she came every now and then to visit and make sure that he was good.
And guess what his favorite game was when he was in the apartment? Fetch.
And Bullet really loved her too, because she would sit there and just toss the ball for him
All day.
And give him cheese, right?
Oh yeah.
Cheese.
Oh, she had this every time she fed him. She spoiled him. She had the dog food and just cheese on top. There's always a big bowl of food with cheese on top. It was
and to give you an idea of Bullet's metabolism, he was still just as skinny as he is now.
Yeah.
That's
He
how
hasn't
much
changed.
exercise he was getting
He
in
was
that little
burning it off.
apartment. He is
Yeah.
changed. Yeah. Yeah.
There was comments too about the consistency of our dirt and this kind of stuff. You have to remember, if you may not have been with us very long, we've been doing this for a lot of years, and we are on our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, our 8th building now. This is the 8th building that we're doing, and we have had problems with when we were up at the cabin. That was a different dirt that we had up there, and when Garen and Ellie, if you remember, went up there, we did have to add cement. So we were asking, people are asking because they see other videos of other people doing stuff and they're thinking, oh, you got to have cement. We are very aware of our consistency of our dirt, and we are not worried about that at all. If you've seen our past videos, you'll know too. The only difference is now we're using the hyper adobe bags, but we've already done a test run. If you saw on the fence, works basically the same kind of deal. So we are not worried about that at all, knowing what our consistency of our dirt is. But we appreciate your concern.
It's like we're building adobe bricks, quite honestly, because of the clay content and the caliche.
And it only needs to be damp enough so it clods in your hand when you squeeze it. That's it.
And then it makes a rock when it dries out. So.
It does. It's like really hard. You could walk all over those bags right now. They're very, very strong.
The skid steer gets a good workout when it's time to dig out. And we were doing all that by hand.
That's been intense.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's
muscles,
you know, I think you kind of have a consistency of, you know, rock and then our dirt. You know, there's no in between. It's just you have rock and then our dirt. Our dirt would be considered a soft rock. I'd consider it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty hard.
All right, another one here based on the wall consistency kind of. Lori Reber says, I was just curious as to how you keep the bag wall plumb. Glad to see you're making such progress on the build. Keep up the great work.
We eyeball it.
We
eyeball
have level eyeballs.
So Bryson's very good.
It's the laser eye. The laser eye line.
Yeah.
We literally just look at the wall and say, does that look straight? Yeah, it looks straight.
We've got a pretty good eye. I've got a pretty good eye, so I can see level and plumb really well.
We've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
So,
but we actually do take a level out and put
every
it on
now and
there,
then,
just to see how things are going. In the beginning, we used to use string and a pole to keep it a circle.
Yeah, and you saw how well that did for us. Have you seen some of our old ones? That's a wonk.
Yeah,
it's bad.
If you look at Bree's building, you'll say, "Whoa!"
I love my building.
Is that built by little kids?
Yeah. So if you have a curved wall and you have to keep that wall plumb, it is a little harder to see that. But when you're dealing with a straight wall, it's kind of just straight.
Yeah.
And this one is a little, by the way, it is a little off. It is. Our camera work doesn't show it.
Yeah.
It's also possible too that when we put the stucco on, because of how big the onion bag type material is, it may adhere more to the wall than any of the other buildings that we've tried.
Kind of glues it together.
We may have to wet it down and then try to adhere like we would cement. Would be kind of interesting to try.
Yeah.
But
and one thing we started doing a few buildings back is taking the brick and hammering the sides, tamping the sides too, so that edge kind of comes in a little bit and means you have less of a gap when you're doing the stuccoing.
Usually we don't stress too much about if something doesn't work. We try it, and if it doesn't work, there's always a solution.
Oh yeah.
So
going back to that,
fun to try.
It doesn't have a brain. It can't defeat us.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for us today. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas of sifting and moving the skid steer, helping us out with some ideas. I know again, CMSM Master even had an idea too for something that could pull dirt up, which was really cool.
Conveyor.
That was really cool.
Conveyor belt type of idea, and we're soaking up all the ideas. We'll come up hopefully with a solution when we're at that point. If not, we're bagging in. Let's hope for a solution. So we really appreciate you taking the time to share your ideas, and of course the sifting thing. We are on board with that idea. We agree it completely, and we're looking forward
100%.
to sharing with you our solution, Dad's Tower of Gravel, with you on Friday too. So thank you so much. We're gonna have that full version of all of the editing tip episodes all in one, and also I believe at that same time Mom's gonna have the PDF if you'd like to read the tips instead. That'll be out on our website on Wednesday as well. So thank you so much for being with us, for being a part of our family, and we look forward to sharing another fun week of My Little Homestead content with you. Bye.
Bye.